November 2023. In a sleepy market town in Derbyshire, tucked about 120 miles north of London, a police community support officer notices something off. A car left running too long, the driver inside visibly nervous. At first glance, it seems insignificant. But this tiny event becomes the spark that ignites the collapse of one of the Midlands' most daring drug trafficking syndicates. Beneath the quiet streets of Swadlin Coat, Colville, and Burton-upon-Trent, a secret criminal enterprise thrives, moving over £1 million worth of cocaine through towns, cleverly disguised in lottery tickets, and serving up to 145 buyers each day. At the center of this operation are two Albanian siblings, Edmund and Edward Haziri. Together, they run what's known as the Eddy Line, a drug ring executed with chilling precision. But their reign, built on the suffering of others, is nearing its end. The moment one iPhone is hurled out of a window, their empire starts to fall apart. This is the real-life downfall of the Haziri brothers, a tale of greed, power, and a relentless police force that refuse to back down. Stick around. This is only the beginning. You won't want to miss how this all unfolds. In early 2021, life across South Derbyshire, Northwest Leicestershire, and East Staffordshire seems uneventful. Families live their routines, businesses operate quietly, and everything appears calm. But beneath that calm lies a growing threat. Cocaine, pure and destructive, is making its way into these neighborhoods, fueling addiction, increasing crime, and ruining lives. The Eddy Line is the artery pumping this poison through these regions. Named after its lead operator, Edmund Haziri, this network is no amateur setup. It's a highly organized drug distribution machine that moves Class A narcotics from London to the Midlands with ruthless efficiency. Edmund, age 36, and his brother Edward, 34, don't operate like typical street-level pushers. They stay insulated, deliberate, calculating, and driven by a fantasy of being untouchable. Inspired by movies like Scarface, they romanticize the lifestyle of high-level drug lords, chasing power, wealth, and status. But that same ambition plants the seeds of their downfall. They never physically handle the drugs. Instead, they direct everything from their South London base. Edmund is the strategic brain. He decides pricing, targets, and handles sourcing. Edward ensures smooth logistics, overseeing couriers and enforcing discipline. Their setup brings in hundreds of thousands annually, fueling lavish tastes, designer clothes, luxury jewelry, and even a hidden underground casino. Their trusted circle includes key players like Gazmend Hawkshaw and Albin Krasnicki. Hawkshaw, based in Leicester, moves drugs and cash between London and the Midlands. Krasnicki handles the daily trade, using a dedicated burner phone, the heart of the Eddy Line, to coordinate drug deals and deliveries. Supporting them are foot soldiers, Samuel and Simeon Stoica, Christy Prifty, Joshua Garrigan, Razvan Manoliu, and Daniel Stavrat. Each plays a part in running drugs, collecting money, and enforcing orders. Collectively, they turn quiet suburbs into centers of chaos, all while believing they're untouchable. By mid-2021, the Eddy Line is running at full speed. Their process is polished, efficient, and well hidden. Cocaine travels from London in regular runs. Vehicles look ordinary, nothing that raises alarms. Gazmend Hawkshaw makes frequent journeys from Leicester to the capital, dropping large bundles of cash, often £50 notes packed high, and returning with multiple kilos of cocaine. Back in the Midlands, people like Krasnicki break down the drugs into smaller portions. These are then wrapped in what appear to be lottery ticket stubs, a clever disguise. They're selling to as many as 145 customers every single day, ranging from curious teens to long-time users, each sale feeding the Haziris' growing wealth. Everything is done with tight discipline. Phones are replaced often, cars are rotated, and communication stays minimal and coded. Their inner circle even gathers in a private casino, hidden in a business property. Poker, blackjack, and more, a celebration of their success and excess. But their addiction to the Scarface dream clouds their judgment. They think they're invisible. They're not. Back in swaddling coat, a police community support officer follows a hunch after noticing that suspicious car. What starts as a small concern links to another vehicle, then to Hawkshaw in Leicester, and finally to the Haziri brothers in South London. This triggers a deeper probe. Enter Operation County Lines, a covert joint task force led by Detective Inspector Kane Martin of Derbyshire Police. For nearly a year, investigators quietly build their case. Surveillance is mounted, phones tapped, informants approached. Trips by Hawkshaw are tracked, Krasniki's movements logged, and the Haziri's spending habits monitored. The flashier their lifestyle, the easier it becomes to follow the trail. Then comes the turning point: human error. Krasniki, the man operating the Eddy line phone, makes a misstep. He's caught on CCTV making a contactless payment inside a small shop, phone in hand, completely unaware he's being recorded. That iPhone is the command center of their operation, filled with messages, drop-off details, buyer lists, and schedules. A treasure trove of evidence that could bring everything crashing down, and it will. After months of meticulous planning, law enforcement is ready. Derbyshire police team up with counterparts in Leicestershire and the Met for a coordinated sweep. They have everything they need: surveillance logs, phone intercepts, GPS data. They know the locations of the couriers, the stash houses, and every point of contact in the £1.1 million supply chain. The Haziris think they're in control, but the walls are about to close in. At 7 a.m., raids are launched in London, Leicester, and across the Midlands. In South London, tactical teams break down doors. Edmund is apprehended at a Bromley address. He's caught completely off guard. Edward is seized in Lewisham. He tries to remain composed, but the reality is clear. In Leicester, Gazmend Hawkshaw is pulled from his house. His role as courier and go-between is fully exposed. One of the key targets is Krasniki's flat in Blackheath Hill, London. When officers arrive, he panics. He throws his iPhone out the window, a last-ditch attempt to destroy the evidence. But he's too late. The phone is recovered by a police dog. It's damaged but intact. Inside various gang-linked properties, police find wads of cash, cocaine packaged for sale, and stacks of luxury goods. At one business premises, they discover the underground casino, a bold symbol of their arrogance. But the iPhone is the linchpin. The phone is password protected, and they have only a few chances to unlock it. Investigators scour old footage from the convenience store, watching closely. Eventually, they spot it. Krasniki typing in his passcode on CCTV. They try the combination. The phone unlocks. Inside, everything: names, locations, orders, dates, a complete blueprint of the Eddy line. The evidence is overwhelming. The Eddy line wasn't just a Midlands operation. It was a large-scale trafficking pipeline stretching from the capital deep into suburban England. The iPhone logs prove 145 daily transactions, each wrap disguised in a fake lottery ticket. Each deal a drop of poison into someone's life. But even in the face of undeniable proof, the top players refuse to plead guilty. Edmund, Edward, Hawkshaw, and others force the case to go to trial, convinced they can beat the system. But the police have done their homework. May 18th, 2023. Derby Crown Court is packed as the trial begins. Prosecutors reveal a mountain of evidence. Cocaine kilos, cash bundles, the casino, the burner phones, all tied together by that fateful iPhone. The story is laid bare, Edmund is identified as the kingpin, Edward as the logistics enforcer, Hawkshaw the courier, Krasniki the man with the phone. The rest, Samuel Stoica, Simeon Stoica, Christy Prifty, Joshua Garrigan, Daniel Stavrat, and Razvan Manoliu, are all shown to be part of the machine. Some try to minimize their involvement, others claim coercion. But the judge isn't swayed. The jury reaches a unanimous verdict, guilty on all counts. Sentencing follows. Edmund Haziri, 15 years. Edward Haziri, 15 years, 6 months. Gazmend Hawkshaw, 11 years. Albin Krasniki, 7 years, 6 months. Samuel Stoica, 6 years, 6 months. Simeon Stoica, 4 years, 6 months. Christy Prifty, 6 years. Joshua Garrigan, 4 years, 6 months. Daniel Stavrat, 4 years. Razvan Manoliu, 2 years, 3 months, sentenced separately, November 17, 2023. The judge doesn't mince words. This gang poisoned communities with drugs, leaving devastation in their path. Detective Inspector Kane Martin, who led the operation, says it clearly. The Eddy line destroyed families and lives, but the men behind it are now behind bars. The fall of the Haziri brothers sends shockwaves through the criminal world. Dealers scramble, phones are destroyed, some vanish. But the message is loud and clear. You can be caught. What moment do you think sealed the fate of the Eddy line? Was it the iPhone toss, the sharp-eyed officer, or their Scarface-fueled arrogance? Let us know in the comments. The Haziris are gone, but their impact lingers. From Swadlin Cut to London, communities are left with the scars of their operation. Their fall is a warning and a reminder. No empire is too big to fail. All it takes is one slip, one mistake, one phone,